All right, well, joining me now is Jeremy Pappas, the Anti-Defamation League's regional director for Western Pennsylvania and Ohio. Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I want to share with our audience something that you tweeted earlier today. You said, quote, "I'm walking the streets of Pittsburgh. This is the conversation that I heard next to me of a little boy and his mom. Quote, Mommy, so this is where the people were killed just because they went to shul? Silence. What can you really say?" The boy is exactly right. Jeremy, can you answer that question? How should Jewish parents be speaking to their kids now about what it's like to be Jewish in America in 2018?
It's really an unfathomable conversation that we're having here in 2018 as we are mourning the most destructive attack on the Jewish community, the largest anti-Semitic attack on the Jewish community in the history of our country. There are no words, and I think about it all the time. What would I say if my son was older than 2 years old? What would I tell him? And there are no words. And while ADL has resources for these types of situations, when something like this happens, we mourn and we show up for the community. And that's why 5,000 people or however many thousand we're here today. We just show up. That's what we do.
How does a community like this begin to start healing? I mean, we've seen these vigils, but as going forward, they lean on each other. How do they heal?
We continue to show up. People continue to show up, and they go to services at their local congregations. They come together as a community. They start to report anti-Semitic incidents as they happen in the community. You know, just last night in Ohio, there was a swastika Saturday night party at a local haunted house that took place in rural Ohio. And I've received over 100 emails about that incident in just 24 hours. And that happened last night. That happened last night, not last week. It happened last night after the attack here in Pittsburgh. And what gives me hope is that people are reporting those incidents. So what do? We move forward. We continue to show up. We don't give in to hate. And we take an active part in our daily lives to ensure that anti-Semitism can be rooted from society.
So why have these incidents and these people essentially been unleashed? We've been quoting all weekend this figure from your organization, the Anti-Defamation League, that just last year in 2017, the number of anti-Semitic incidents rose 57%. That's staggering. It's the largest single-year increase since your organization has been keeping track. So what do you think accounts for this spike?
It's unbelievable to have a 57% rise in anti-Semitic incidents last year alone, and knowing that so many of those incidents took place in K-12 schools and on college campuses. It's really incumbent on leaders all across the political spectrum to speak out. We cannot give platforms for anti-Semites to be out there speaking, whether that's on the internet, whether that's on social media platforms, and whether that's in the public sphere. We need to call out hate. And we need to call out anti-Semitism when it comes, no matter who says it and no matter where it comes from.
I think a lot of non-Jews in this country are not terribly aware what precautions Jewish communities have to take, whether it's in schools or at synagogues. Plenty of them have armed guards already. Plenty of them engage in active shooter drills in case something like this is going to happen. We've heard the president say that maybe this might not have happened if there had been an armed guard at the Tree of Life Synagogue, which wouldn't have happened normally on a normal Saturday morning, normal Shabbat morning. How do you think these Jewish organizations, buildings, schools, synagogues, museums are going to react to this going forward? It's
a serious question that we need to address, and obviously we work very closely with law enforcement across local and state and federal levels to ensure that synagogues and the Jewish community has the security that they need. And there needs to be a conversation, and we need to continue monitoring anti-Semitism across the board to ensure that incidents like these can be stopped before they occur. And we work very closely with local Jewish federations, with the SCAN network, to really ensure that we do have a monitored situation. What we do moving forward is a real question that we need to address. But our view, and the view of many, is that we're safest and we're strongest when we're working in close connection across the Jewish community and working in very close concert, hand in hand with our law enforcement partners to ensure that these incidents can't occur.
Well, incredibly sad that reassessment even needs to take place at all. Jeremy Pappas from the Anti-Defamation League, thanks so much.
Great. Thanks for having me.